There's only about maybe 7 or 8 pages in this book that is identical to one blog post on chrisducker.com. I lifted it entirely from the blog and stuck it directly in the book. Everything else is fresh content, but it has been heavily repurposed. And I know you're going to love how I'm going to start breaking this down now. But the bottom line is that was the only piece of content that I actually pulled and stuck directly in the book. And it's the section where I talk about how to be a great podcast guest. But the entire book was ultimately repurposed from content that is actually inside of the Youpreneur community. So yes, there are parts on it, and obviously there's a whole bunch of case studies in the book as well, from big influencer names right the way down to successful personal brand entrepreneurs that you probably never even heard of but are crushing it, right? So all of those things considered, what happened was when we launched when we launched the Youpreneur community in late 2015, we listened very intently in that first 6 months or so after we opened the doors to see what people needed help with. There was a lot of content in there already, a hell of a lot. But there were gaps developing in the feedback that we were getting from people. So we knew we were going to have to do another kind of big creation batching process of content to fill the gaps up at some point. And we did that in the middle of 2016. Now, at the same time as doing that, as we were filling these gaps, we also started kind of siphoning things off into what ended up being 3 very, very distinct sections of the community as well, which ended up being building, marketing, and monetizing. And that actually became what is now known as the Youpreneur roadmap. So although the roadmap online inside of the community is an ongoing, evolving roadmap, so we take stuff out, we replace it, we update it, we add new content in every month. There's something different going on there. But the general kind of consensus was that, wow, this is great. Now we can actually see where we are in our own journeys, hop straight to that point, pick up, and just follow this step by step. And we saw more people consuming the content after we published the roadmap than we ever did before, ever, because it was all laid out in a how-to kind of step-by-step process. And so that's ultimately what the book became. It became a huge repurpose type of project from what we already knew worked very, very well and had gotten people, literally hundreds of people, great results. And so we fundamentally repurposed the entire community and put it into a book.